His face beamed when he saw her. Her light brown hair waved like the sea, reaching down the small of her back, and her eyes were sweet as honey dripping from the comb. She had a smile that could melt men's souls, and a laugh that carried the notes of angels. She looked at him, as he did her, and only love was seen. Iscariot went to her, grasped her left hand, and kissed her soothing peach lips. "Are you doing okay?" he asked with a concerned expression. "I'm doing fine, Wonder Boy. I'm happy you're here." She squeezed his hand as she told him. Her voice was smooth as silk, polished and flawless. She loosened her grip and moved her fingers between his, locking them together, and as she did so, she heard Iscariot's stomach grumble. "You look thin," she teased him. "Make all the jokes you want, my Nikta. I'm not the one about to give birth." He grinned at his wife. She freed her hand from his and slapped his wrist, giving him a scolding, playful look. "Ouch, woman! Stop being mean," he spoke light-heartedly. She then wove her fingers into his once more, looking into his eyes with a smile skirting her face. "Speaking of food, do you know what sounds amazing right now?" she asked, not letting him respond. "Orange and lemon carrageenan pudding. Did you bring me any?" Iscariot looked at her with bemusement. "It's nearly midnight and Marog is closed. I think you're out of luck with that." "Well, I guess that brings you down a point on the husband scale," she mocked. "I went from 100 to 99, he played along. "No, dear. That gets you from 1 to 0. Looks like I'll have to find a new husband after today." She winked at him while he gave her a sour, mischievous stare. While the labour process was slow, they talked of when they first started dating. "Do you remember our first date at Marog? It was 2 weeks after we first met, and to be honest, I don't know what took you so long to ask me on a date. I would have said yes as soon as you gave me your chocolate when I met you at the Cath match." "How could I forget it? I got ice cream that tasted like toothpaste and fell flat on my ass as we left. It was terrible," he said to her. "I was so nervous the day of the match, I had no clue what I was doing." "Oh, I could tell. But you were sweet, and the chocolate was the best one I've ever had," she told him. "You sure do know how to win a girl's heart. You being in misery, I kind of liked it. I thought it was rather cute, and as I recall, I had some competition that night we went to Marog's." Iscariot grinned. "You sure did. I was this close to pushing you aside for your smoking hot Nan." They both laughed at the thought. "That lady was hilarious." "I miss her sometimes." As he said the words, the scene abruptly changed. "Ah! Cack! That friggin' hurt!" Iscariot's wife yelled, taking him by surprise. "You all right?" Iscariot embraced her hand with both of his. His wife looked up at him in ecstasy. "He's coming," she told him. "You're at about 7 centimeters, one of the nurses told her. "The contractions are about to get much stronger as we get into active labor," she continued. "Oh, good," she said, amused. The pain intensified from 7 to 8, and 8 to 9 centimeters. The contractions were close and intense. Her back and groin began to ache. "I think I'm gonna be sick." "It will pass, dear. Husband, give her some water and a damp cloth to place on her forehead," the wide-eyed nurse commanded. Iscariot followed her directions, trying to help as best he could, though he felt like he wasn't helping much at all. "Okay, we're fully dilated," the doctor noted. "Get ready to start pushing." The pain became more intense as she started to push in between contractions. Her breathing was slow and methodical, focused. As she pushed, she tightened her grip on Iscariot's hand. He wouldn't admit it, but she was squeezing his hand so tightly it felt like it was inside a vice about to break with the next contraction she had. He ignored his hand. Iscariot was fixated on the moment, a sense of excitement knowing his child was mere minutes from life outside the womb. An hour had passed, and the infant was close to delivery. The contractions were now 30 seconds to a minute apart. His wife pushed again, and then once more. She seemed to feel relief with every push she gave. Iscariot encouraged her with every push and every agonizing hand squeeze. "You're doing great. You're almost there." He kissed her vice-like hand. "We are crowning," the doctor announced. Iscariot's face lit up, as did his wife's. She pushed, and seconds later she pushed once more, and then a third time. With a whimper she gave a final push, and the cries of a baby boy were heard. All eyes laid upon Hans as he wailed a healthy bull. All eyes except for Iscariot's wife, for she lay there unconscious. To Iscariot, the room looked like everyone had panicked. Time froze, but everyone around seemed to move at lightning speed. The infant was cleared from the scene as the doctor and nurses scrambled to tend to her. The vitals on the machine showed the extremes as they beeped and coded for alarms. Iscariot's emotions were no different, from utmost joy to severe concern, sadness and helplessness. In his clouded state of mind, a nurse took hold of his arm and guided him into the hallway. She sat him down and took the seat next to him. The lights were bright and disorienting. Iscariot's head began to pound like waves crashing against the shore. "Mr. Derrick, I know you must be a little confused at the moment," she started. "What's happened to my wife?" he interrupted her. "Your wife is bleeding from within. She has suffered an aortic aneurysm," she continued. "Is she going to be all right? Can you save her?" he interrupted again. "We've rushed her into immediate surgery to try and stop the bleeding. Once the bleeding has stopped, we'll try and repair the aneurysm. I'll come by every 30 minutes and update you on the status of your wife." "What of my son? Is he okay?" "Your son is doing very well. At the moment he's being washed and cared for, and you'll be able to see him in the nursery shortly. I know this is difficult for you, so if you have any questions or need anything, please let me know," she said sympathetically. Iscariot, still in a state of shock, nodded his head, and the bubbly, doe-eyed nurse headed back to tend to his ailing wife.